And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Set up, 60 Pittsburgh. 54. Let's go, D. And Deep River.
Jones now on first down. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Jones throw on target to Shepard, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Ready. 18 games. It's center time. Fellas, it's center time. Go. Go on. I got you, son. I got you.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley, and he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Down. 10 logo. Check Mike 50.
Throwing Jones. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, You know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
60 yard. Man, that's trash. That's trash. Get it.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Here we go.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Hey, wahoo!
54, right there, 54.
Now Jones. That's into the hands of the tight end, Ellison. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue, just make sure you feed me the football? And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
That's the end of the first quarter with no score.
Set, ready? 18 Gator.
54 Mike. Target.
Set, go. Shoot.
7 yards there and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Bam.
Check 31.
Ready.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Chopper.
Back.
Go. Let's go.
Now it's Barkley. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Rosa's kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Kareem Martin gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Julian Love picks it.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A run by Barkley, going to go backwards as he's going to lose right around 3 yards here. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's
Alpha.
6 guys. Check 6.
Go.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Looking for Shepard deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Come on, set.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Watch QB drop.
Go.
I got it. Mike spot.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Too big for you.
What?
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Get.
Now Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
Now, that's just a head-scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks.
14, got it.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
50, minus 50. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Here we go. 50, 50. Mike 50. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
Fight.
Operating from the gun, Jones. This is Shepard on the catch. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20.
Hey, Charlie.
Mike's 50. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Come. Big grip.
Jones operating from the gun. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. He was looking for Watkins that time.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Throwing on second and long. Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Seahawks on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Steps away to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. Here's the sneak with Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go again.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
On the ready.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
We didn't want this.
Ready.
To throw again, Jones. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. 12. Put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. 25. Check 25.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson, Safarian Jenkins has it. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Got it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Now.
2nd and 11. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Emmanuel Ogbah. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Ready? 15 line. 15 line. 54.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
He's coming.
Hard. Why? Get ready to go. Let's go.
Jones now throwing on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Returnable for Lockett. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson now throwing again. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 17-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. They'll go to Barkley again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution. Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. Going deep here for Watkins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
14.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Returning is Peppers. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st down, Barkley. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football, but needing points as we start quarter number 4. From the 17, Jones, and that'll be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And Ingram holds it in. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
61, matchbox, lights, buzz.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
I'm on. Snap.
Now Jones on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
54. Mike 54.
Go.
Watch the out. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten.
Hey, orbit.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Go.
On 4th down, Jones forced out to his left. This is caught, Watkins. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Here we go. 8, read. Topper.
Back to throw. Jones. Tate bringing it in for the Giant touchdown. Golden Tate, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are back within a single score. PAT up and good by Rosas. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up second down.
Check Mike.
Here's Wilson to throw again. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Carson, and an alley to run. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Being chased out left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They run it with Carson. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Check 99. Check 99.
12. Run left. Check.
Watch Mike.
From the gun, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 15-yard line. I'll tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout, so that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, push their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Jones going to throw again. It's caught by Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. Looking to throw. Jones. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 11.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 11 yards there, first down. This offensive line starting to win up front. You win that battle in the trenches, you can kind of wear them down here late.
So you bring in the second part to that equation, and that's the big running back, the big bruiser, who can get more than what's blocked and break a few extra tackles and gain yardage.
So the victory here for Seattle, and this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer Tim Karen said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do, as well as prepare our bodies the same way.
So for the Seahawks, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.